Alright then, boys. So this was my last fight I did about 5 months ago, and this was a 1 day notice fight. So they had a Walker Night event. As you can see, it's a Walker Night fight, and I got asked if I wanted to do a kickboxing match. I didn't really want to do it. I did get offered some money, and that's why I took the fight. And I'm usually an MMA fighter, so this was an MMA fighter versus a K1 fighter in a K1 match, and he had a record of, I think, he had a very stacked record. I think he had a 6-2 record. I was 0-1 going into this fight, and my first kickboxing match was against a guy called Alfie Lynch, who actually 2 weeks ago was fighting on ONE FC. So I was 0-1 going into this fight. Yeah, it was against a good opponent. However, this Charlie Farmer guy had a lot more experience than I did, and I'm an MMA fighter. I made a lot of mistakes in this fight, as you'll see later on as I go into it. I move a little bit too much, I waste a little bit too much energy, and I was basically a bodybuilder fighting in a K1 match. I had way more muscle on this fight compared to any of my previous fights, and anybody that doesn't know kickboxing, it's not conducive to have a lot of muscle on your frame in kickboxing because it's a cardio-based sport compared to grappling, where more strength is required when you have to clinch, by example. So when you watch this fight, you'll see why having loads of muscle on your frame is not a good idea for fighting, and why you should actually train more conditioning instead of more bodybuilding when it comes to fighting. So let's get right into the video anyways. That's enough of my excuses and enough of my waffling. So as you'll see in this fight, I start off very fast and I've got a lot of movement, a lot of bouncy movement compared to my opponent, Charlie. You'll notice that Charlie is way more efficient with his movement and his energy and the way he defends punches, etc. He doesn't really move a lot compared to I do. So if there was like a heat map recording who moved the most, I'm always the one escaping, I'm always the one moving backwards because I'm trying to keep him in kicking range. And at the moment, I've been catching him with quite a few left hooks, especially after my body kick. See, I keep on catching him with these left hooks here. I'll just slow it down. At the moment, my check lead hook is doing pretty well. Look at that. I'm not very used to doing this. Demetrius Johnson is a lot better at doing this than I am. Anyways, keep on catching him with these left hooks. As you can see, that check lead hook. And I think I'll do it again in a second. Bang, bang. So I'm catching him with some big shots, but I'll do a big swing and a miss here. Notice how much energy I just wasted on that left hook there. I missed completely. Put everything into that punch as well. So that, if you didn't know, guys, is probably the fastest way to lose energy, is by missing punches. And I'm catching him with these body kicks coming in sometimes as well. However, with the shin guards on, I just don't think we do enough damage compared to what actually works and makes more damage on your opponent. But just here, I land a lovely combo. This is one of my favourite ones. I always do this in sparring. But I think he goes low kick on me, and I counter him with left hook cross, step outside low kick. No, I go low kick to initiate the attack, left hook cross, miss on the cross, but landed another low kick. Oh, caught him with a nice head kick there. Did anyone see that? So in a second, I catch him with a head kick, and then I throw the inside low kick as he goes to counter with the cross, and I slip his cross. Yeah. So as you can see here, I go for my head kick. I land the head kicks partially, just over his guard. And then I go for the inside low kick as he steps forward. And then I slip his jab. It was a jab I slipped, not a cross. But as you can see, I'm throwing way more bigger movements. I'm putting way more shots. You see that counter there as well. He landed a nice little counter. But I'm putting loads of effort into my shots, because I'm used to throwing like one shot at a time in MMA with the little gloves and everything. However, Charlie, he's got more of the K1 style. He's just way more efficient. Like, when he misses, it's not much of a big miss compared to mine. And I don't know, he's just way more efficient in there. If anybody that knows a lot about fighting, you'll notice I'm moving around a lot more. I'm throwing much harder techniques. However, they're not always landing compared to Charlie when he throws the landing. But that was a nice combo there by me. Inside low kick while he's in southpaw to get him to switch, because he told me after the fight actually that his lead leg was battered because I was kicking the shit out of his lead leg. One of my favourite things to do. So he went to southpaw, just like a few of my ex-opponents have had to switch to southpaw before, because my low kick game is pretty good. And then I kick the inside of his lead leg in southpaw stance, get him to switch, and then I explode in again with my left hook cross, outside low kick. But I miss on the outside low kick. See how much of a big swing and a miss that was? Took a lot of energy out of me, that did. Charlie had the better punches and I had the better kicks, I'd say. I'd say I had the better Thai boxing style, but Charlie had a way better K1 Dutch kickboxing style, high guard walking towards me. but I had my chin wide open in the air there. That was bad by me. Look at this. Nah, he should have clocked me there. Right hook to right body kick, and then as he steps in, my lead teep. So I think it's safe to say that I probably won that round. I'd say I probably won that round. And like I said, boys, this was a 1 day notice fight. So these people that are in my corner are actually my students. So this is my first fight without any proper coaches. These were my students. They were there mainly just to make me feel good on the day because it was such short notice. I couldn't get hold of anyone. So I only managed to sell maybe 5, 6 tickets or something like that. But my closest friends were my corner men, of course. And yeah, I was pretty tired going into the second round, as you can tell. So as you'll see in this round, things start crumbling down for Shaydog in this round because there was a few swing and a misses by a few low kicks, a few right hands that missed, a few left hooks that missed. And eventually, in fights, anybody that's competed before, you start to fade. But I went for another head kick there as he stepped in. It's one of my favourite things to do is look low, go high, but he was wise to it. He had a very good, he sort of did like a Thai boxing check there. But that was a beautiful combination by Charlie there. I think he went for a left head kick into a jab from southpaw. Both of them were from southpaw, I think. And because I like to kick people in the leg a lot, I noticed that a lot of my opponents do switch to southpaw. He set it up really well. Oh, that was beautiful. That hurt me though, as you can tell, on the rope straight away. All of this extra movement's tiring me out, and he's putting good pressure on me. In MMA, if people would try and pressure me like this, I'd just shoot a double leg. I'm not used to having to move backwards all the time and having to sort of get his respect back via hitting him with punches. Most of the time, my game is based around throwing kicks to get them to come towards me, and then I shoot a double leg. But as you can see, he's really starting to overwhelm me, and I tried to get his respect back here. I go for the inside leg kick, but that looks a little bit suspect. The way I just paused out there, that looks a little bit suspect to me. That could have been a groin shot. Anyways, I didn't notice that until now. But I slip his punches, but I'm always on the back foot here, and then I go back in with another body kick, and he blocks it really well. Yeah, so another big swing and a miss and 2 big steps backwards, which tires you out more, by the way. If you're the one moving backwards all the time, you get tired quicker than the guy just plodding forward like Charlie is. Charlie's very good at his high guard, high volume boxing sort of game. He didn't really end a lot of combinations on kicks, but his boxing was just way better than me in this fight, as you can see. I'm so used to just darting in with my cross and keeping loads of distance and exploding in, but in K1 it only lasts so long. Anybody that watches a lot of kickboxing, then they notice people like Raymond Daniels, for example, they like to move around a lot. But when they do K1 or kickboxing, they get cornered a lot easier. And luckily I was fighting inside an octagon. Imagine if I was fighting inside a ring. This probably would have been a lot earlier, but I'm still landing some good shots, don't get me wrong. That's one of my favourite combos just there, look. So I go, let me just rewind that. I go leg kick to get him. So this is one of my favourite things. I did it earlier as well. I went leg kick and then I exploded in with my left hook cross into leg kick again, I believe. But before that, Charlie lands some nice right hook cross from southpaw, and he does a switch right overhand, which I've never seen before. That was quite interesting. Leg kick lands, and then I come forward with a cross, and then I land another low kick, and I just evade his right hook counter. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of moving backwards from me here. And he catches me with another overhand, that catches me on the chin. I tried to wrap him up in a collar clinch, but then I land 3 big body shots, miss on the last body shot. Left hook cross into my right low kick again. So he wasn't able to check that one because I was behind his hips, as you'll see here. So look, I land these body shots, and because I'm behind his hamstring, he's got no way of checking it on time. But then Charlie comes back immediately, he lands a nice liver shot with my high guard, not able to defend very well. And this is me just constantly moving backwards, but I'm trying to hit him as he comes forward just to get him to stop coming forward, but he was just so relentless at it, and he just landed a beautiful combination on me there, look. I think he went, yeah, right overhand, and I think he goes jab into right hook to the body, into left liver shot. And then if they just land a liver shot on you, you'll notice that they keep their right hand a little bit lower, and that's the perfect time for them to throw the jab. And if you delay it for like half a second, it lands really nicely. So if you watch what he does here, he throws 2 body shots, ends on the liver shot, and then he waits half a second, and then he throws the jab, which I've started doing in sparring now. So this is why fighting is amazing, because you learn from your mistakes here. And he caught me with this beautiful look. I dropped my elbow and he caught me with a cheeky jab, and then he was wise to my calf kick counter. But I'm just really trying not to move backwards. I'm trying to get used to just shelling up and just sort of getting used to countering him and trying to interrupt his combos. But he won that. I'd say he probably won that round just from volume. I was winning the first part of the round, but I'd say it's 1-1 now going into this third round, and I am fucking knackered, as you can tell. However, my back muscles, come on, my back muscles, if this was a bodybuilding competition, I'd win. But it doesn't matter anyway, we're having a fight. So, yeah, going into this third round, I was knackered, and Charlie looks tired as well, don't get me wrong, but he looks like more upbeat than I do. He looks like he's ready to win. He looked like he wanted to win more than I did, which, you know, 1 day notice fight, not expecting to lose, I expected to win, but at the same time, I wasn't going to beat myself up if I lost. I'm going to go in there, do my absolute best I can, and hopefully get the fucking win. But if I don't get the win, it's not a big deal. I wasn't training for it too much. This is why you should just fight anyway. Fighting teaches you so much about yourself, and this fight taught me so much, so couldn't recommend it enough. Anyways, going into the third round now, boys. Third and final round then, boys. Does Shay come back, or does Charlie keep his momentum going into the third? We shall find out. I'm starting to win the round anyway. Left body kick into my left teep. Caught him with a slip left overhand. But just look how immediate this pressure is from Charlie. He knows I'm tired, right? Just look at this immediate volume from him. It was so overwhelming. When I was in there, it felt super overwhelming, but just have a look at this. Lands a jab on me. Another, that same combo, right hook to the body, double jab, another right hook, left hook to the body. I was really just trying to keep him away from me. I just did like a little bench press to keep him away from me there. Second guessing sending my kick. I should have just went up to the head on that kick, to be honest. But anyways, I'm trying to get out of that corner because fuck just being a punching bag for Charlie, because he can put 5-piece combos together very quick. But as you can see, his right overhand is landing a lot on me. I'm trying to keep him at kicking range, but at this point, you have to fight fire with fire, and I'm already cut open now. I don't know what actually cut me open, but something has cut me open. It was a little bit before that. I think I'm cut open at this point. I think it might have been when I was in there, I think it was an accidental headbutt that cut me open. But I remember feeling it after this exchange. I remember realising that I've got blood everywhere. And psychologically, as a fighter, that fucks you up, honestly. But I landed a nice right hook, left hook here, I believe, because he's getting a little bit overzealous. I am sort of eating shots, but I'm trying to pick my counters at the same time. I think he throws a straight punch. I slip on the inside, went for a right hook, left hook, but he caught me with a cross to the body on my inhale. Notice how while I was inhaling, he catches me with his shot. So I land my 2 shots, and then just as I'm stepping away, catches me just right in the body, just on my way back, just when I didn't see the shot coming. But in this fight, he lands a lot of body shots. He must have landed probably like close to 70. I'm going to say close to 70 body shots. That might be an exaggeration, but I haven't counted it up. I'm not a nerd. But he lands 2 more body shots here. I'm trying to keep a high guard, which I should have lowered my guard slightly. But yeah, I believe I catch him with another right hook, left hook here. Bang, bang, 2 big shots. Then I try to land my jab, and then I don't get it, and I wrap him up in a clinch. But I was unsure about the rules as well, because usually in Muay Thai, I would keep him in the clinch and keep on kneeing. But K1, I think you're only allowed to land 1 knee and then break away. But I think I landed a knee in the second round, and the ref didn't really say anything, so I'm not really sure what the rules were. But I tried to catch him with another right overhand. At this point, I'll be honest, I'm trying to catch him with just 1 big shot, because I know the scorecards are fucking me over right now, so I am just trying to land that big shot. But as you see here, I throw a body kick, and then I try to dart in with my cross, and then I slipped on the outside of his right hook counter. Just out of the way, only just. Nearly knocked the ref out with my movement there. But yeah, Charlie was landing some body shots, and I noticed he had a very high guard, so I tried to catch him with a long knee as he stepped in. But look at all of this blood here. Look how handsome I look with all this blood. Right hook to the body, right hook to the head, left straight. I tried to go for a knee. I didn't really have a very good angle on my knee. But yeah, I was hoping he'd sort of crumble on I caught him with another left hook, right hook here as well. I am just trying to get 2 shots together so I can knock him out. I am just trying to land a big shot on him. Just waiting to time a straight shot. Right overhand, left hook. I caught him with the left hook, and then I frame out to exit to get back to my kicking range, just so I can get some fucking rest. But I tried to catch him with another right overhand. He breaks out easily. Oh, this is where it starts to get bad for me. He's really, really overwhelming me. Look, he's just marching me down. He's got no respect for my power right now because blew all my energy out. And as you can see, the typical MMA fighter I am, I went for an instinctual single leg while he was pressuring me. This is what I'd do in sparring. If I was getting overwhelmed with punches, I'd just shoot through him on a double leg. But of course, it's kickboxing, so I can't. But he throws a kick, I catch, and I immediately go for the single, but I realised I couldn't. That took a lot of energy out of me. And he punishes me with 2 right hooks to the body. Oh my God. I'm going to have to rewind this. So he catches me with a cross here, look. He catches me with a big cross. I'm going to put it all on slow-mo because I'll be honest, I was getting pinged about here. But I shouldn't have gone for that single leg. And then I backed away, which gave him space to move forward. Gets me up against the ropes. Right hook to the body, lands clean. Another one. He lands a cross on me here, I believe. Caught me straight on the temple. Left hook just misses. Another right hook cross lands straight. Liver shot, right hook to the head. Another cross. I don't know how the ref didn't get close to TKO in this, stopping this fight. I'm still trying to throw. However, he's got the ability to just move backwards. Because I'm up against the cage, I can't just step back anymore. So he has the ability to just step away from my looping shots. And I catch him with 2 right hooks at the end and a left hook. But that's the end of the fight. That was by far one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life. I did end up losing this fight. I don't have to skip it to the bit where he's got his hand up, do I? But he does win this fight. And it was probably one of the best experiences ever. As you can see here, me and my opponent are hugging it out right now. The bonds you get from these fights, the primal instincts that come into these fights is just incredible. And the experience of taking it on one day's notice, didn't really have to make a weight class, but I still had to make weight. I still made weight on the day, and I fought on the same day. It was just an amazing experience. So after this fight, I will show you my other fight where this was about 36 hours notice. So it is still one day notice. However, I have actually took a fight on 18 hours notice. So that was literally, I got called up on Friday night and I took the fight on a Saturday morning. Well, Saturday afternoon, I should say. So I can react to that fight as well. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments. And just lastly from me, it will be an absolute honour to have you inside my free community where if you have competed before, I can react to your videos and send it to you personally, give you some feedback based on what you did really well, what you could improve on. And I also do that for sparring footage and different technique videos on your pad work and stuff like that, etc. So if that does sound like something that you're interested in, join my free community, send me a message, we'll have a closer connection to each other. Because I'm trying to get as many like-minded fighters as I can inside my community so we can all help each other grow as much as possible. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, join the first link in the description, and if not, give us a like and a comment and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.